Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do things just a little bit differently than I already have and bring you into the kitchen to show you something that I have been really enjoying lately. And that is a creation of my own making. I am calling red raspberry leaf tea triple berry smoothie. Now I know that's a mouthful and you're probably wondering why in the world when I put red raspberry leaf tea in a smoothie. Let me explain. About a year ago, after a great conversation with a dear friend who also has PCOS, she recommended that I start drinking red raspberry leaf tea to help regulate my menstrual cycles and combat some of the issues that I was having with my PCOS. She explained about how great it was for me because not only did it help regulate my hormones, but it helped make sure that my uterus was toned and bring back menstrual cycles, which was something I was desperately seeking, believe it or not. So, after talking with her, I decided to do a little bit of digging on my own because the idea intrigued me. I wanted to know why red raspberry leaf tea was doing all of that. And so what I found out was that red raspberry leaf tea, well, it is definitely all that she said and a whole lot more. Red raspberry leaf tea, besides helping regulate hormones like estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, and melatonin, along with so many others, it's also packed with tons of nutrients. Seriously, the list was mind-blowing. From just one red raspberry leaf tea, there's like 15 nutrients that you can get just from a single leaf. So imagine how much power a cup of tea would have. Some of these ingredients include calcium and vitamin D, which are both super important, and things like B vitamins and vitamins A and magnesium, and the list just keeps going. So I decided that since I had kind of gotten bored with simply drinking a cup of tea, or 3 or 4 like is recommended to help give you the optimal results that you're looking for, that I would sneak it into a smoothie in place of the water or juice that most recipes call for. So red raspberry leaf tea that I am using is this one by Traditional Medicinals, and it's an organic tea, and I will put the link in the video description box below as to where I got this. I know that it's available in grocery stores, but my husband actually ordered this for me in bulk from Amazon, so I will put the link in the video description box below. Now, what else besides red raspberry leaf tea is going in this smoothie? Well, it's a triple berry smoothie. So I have some really lovely frozen blueberries, and in this bowl, if I don't spill it, I have frozen strawberries and frozen raspberries. Now, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't look like frozen berries. Well, I promise it is. But on the way home, these little berries decided they didn't want to stay frozen. It was just too hot in the car, and so they kind of turned to mush in the bag, which doesn't make for a good smoothie or a very easy time when you're trying to make smoothies. So I took advantage of their semi-frozen state and spooned them into an ice cube tray, or several in my case, and I made little frozen cubes of strawberries. And since I know that a cube in an ice tray is an ounce, I know exactly how much I am getting without having to break out a measuring cup, which comes in handy. So I have 2/3 of a cup of strawberry. It's this particular time, it's a mix of strawberries and raspberries. Normally, I divide all 3 of the berries in equal parts, so I do 1/3 cup for each, but I was running a little short today on raspberries, so I opted for a little extra strawberries because honestly I think they're my favorite anyway. But I also have some frozen yogurt. This frozen yogurt was just regular store yogurt that you get in the refrigerated section that I did the same thing with. I put it in ice cube trays and stuck it in the freezer because I knew the expiration date was getting a little too close and I wouldn't be able to finish it. I didn't want it to go bad. I had like almost an entire container of it. I simply had forgotten it was there. So that's what I did. I stuck it in the freezer and now I have it for smoothies and it's great. Since everything is frozen, I don't have to use any ice. If you're using fresh fruit instead, be sure to add the appropriate amount of ice to make sure you get the consistency in the cold that you're looking for in your smoothie. So, what I do for my blender, since I have a blender that has a cup, a little accessory basically to make individual smoothies, I put my blueberries in the bottom, and then I put in the other. Now, if this was fresh fruit, I wouldn't care about the order that I was putting this in, because fresh fruit is all different shapes and they tend to meld together. But because these are cubes, at least the strawberries and the raspberries are, and so is my yogurt, it just fits better. If I can get that in there, there we go. Down in my cup, if it is in this order. Now, I just pour my red raspberry leaf tea, which I have had steeping for about half an hour, to make sure I don't make a mess on the counter. I'm going to pour this over the bowl because I'm not always the best at this. This is a full 8 ounces of red raspberry leaf tea. I'm only going to add a little bit. See, I still spilled it. I'm only going to add a little bit of it at the moment. This tea just doesn't want to cooperate. But that's okay. Life's messy, right? But I added about half of my tea, minus what's spilled on the counter. And now I'm just going to put this on my blender. I will end up probably using the entire 8 ounces, but I like to start with half just in case there is more moisture in the berries that I'm using that day, or if I've added a little extra blueberries, because I tend to eyeball those. That way I don't end up with a slushie that's just not appealing to me. So, or not slushie, smoothie. So, what I'm going to do is let this run for a couple of minutes and then add in the extra liquid if I need it, and I will show you what it looks like. 1 second. Now, I stopped the blending process because I need to check the consistency of my smoothie. So I just have to twist this off of the cup. Try not to make a giant smoothie mess, which, as you saw with tea, may or may not actually be successful. Okay, so this is kind of thick for me for a smoothie. It's more like the consistency of thick ice cream. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my tea and hopefully not spill much more of it on the counter. There we go. I think I managed not to spill but a little bit that time. And I'm just going to put this back on the blender for another minute or so until it is all blended up to the consistency that I'm looking for. So once I have that on there, I'll be right back. So now that the smoothie is all blended up, it's got the right consistency that I'm looking for, which makes me very happy. I'm going to open this over the bowl just because this part tends to get a little messy. I know I've already made a mess, but I don't want to stain this countertop. So this makes a full cup, which is a beautiful color. I did end up adding a few extra blueberries and an extra little cube of yogurt because it had gotten too thin, and so that filled up the cup for me Literally to the very top. I have about one thread width left in this cup, and it would be overflowing. But it is the perfect consistency, and it's a beautiful purple color. I love purple, so that makes me happy. And now I'm just going to taste this. That's really good. It's very cold. A little bit of brain freeze, but it's really good. And it's really good for you. The berries and the tea both have antioxidants in them, which are great for you in general. They also give your liver a helping hand and help keep it healthy, which is super important because I recently learned that the liver is where your body breaks down hormones. So, if your liver's happy, maybe your hormone levels will be a little happier too. At least that's my running theory at the moment. Let's talk about variations for this smoothie because not everybody likes the same kind of berries that I do. If you prefer blackberries or you would rather do cherries or even black currants or anything like that, or these are all great options. I went with what I already had, which was a collection of frozen berries. 3 of my favorites, which are the strawberry, the raspberry, and the blueberry. So be sure that you play around with this recipe. This recipe is great for masking the flavor of the red raspberry leaf tea. I know that when I first started drinking red raspberry leaf tea, I hated the flavor. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't care how much honey I put in it. I hated it. It didn't taste right. Now, when I stopped drinking Cokes the first time this year and started increasing my water and my tea, my herbal teas, the taste wasn't so bad anymore. But if you are brand new to red raspberry leaf tea and you are finding that you don't like the taste of it at all, try putting it in this smoothie because I can assure you the sweetness from the berries in the smoothie totally masks it. If you're looking for a way to cheat the system, as it were, and not have to drink so many cups of red raspberry leaf tea, then do 2 of the red raspberry leaf tea bags to 8 ounces of water. And that gives you the double shot of red raspberry without having to drink extra cup. And that makes things a little bit easier. I know it makes things easier for me. That's actually what I prefer to do. I'll have 2 cups that I don't have to sit and drink. And I'm not saying that I am chained to my red raspberry leaf tea, but definitely helped to improve some of the symptoms that I have with my PCOS. So I'm a little more inclined to make the extra effort required to be sure that I get in the red raspberry leaf tea. Now I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not perfect with it. I do not drink it every day. I'm working on that, but I don't. So smoothies and recipes like this make that a lot easier because this would be great for when it's hot and really uncomfortable outside. Instead of grabbing the ice cream, I can make a smoothie that helps me fight my PCOS. I can cool off and fight my PCOS. Now that's multitasking. Also a great option for first thing in the morning, especially busy mornings, because smoothies are easy to throw together. If you put all your ingredients together in a zipper baggie and have it ready to go the night before, or even if you plan it out a few days in advance and have several days lined up, then all you have to do in the morning is grab your Ziploc baggie and your tea, start your tea to steeping while you go and get dressed, and then when you're done, come in, toss it all together, run it through the blender, and you're out the door, which is so important on busy mornings, whether you're working or going to school or both. Maybe you're trying to get the kids out to school before you do what you need to do, like work and school. So keep this option in mind for those busy, hectic mornings or for those super hot days to help keep you on track with your healthier eating and fighting your PCOS while you cool off. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I had a blast making it, and I have a feeling you'll see quite a few more recipe videos in the future. If you did like this recipe video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. If you have any recipes that you think I might like or you would like to see me try out here on the channel, be sure to let me know in the comment section below as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe button as well because I have a lot of fun videos coming your way. The next video, which will be on Sunday the 14th, will be an update video as to how my no Coke challenge is going and a few other little things thrown in as well. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss out on that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.